Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Final Fantasy XIV. In this video, as you can see, I am a level 71 warrior, which means we are going to be going through the levels 50 through 80 job quests for warrior. Now, as I had mentioned before, warrior was, pretty much every tank except Gunbreaker. Warrior had been boosted to level 70 to spare myself the grind and to get myself out Palace of the Dead. Warrior was the initial tank that I had boosted a few weeks back. But yeah, it's a good thing too, because I probably would have boosted it anyway, because my patience for Palace of the Dead is no more. But oh well, we can do the story now. We're refamiliarized with how things work out, so we can continue with the story. George, it's been so long that I don't remember what happened. I know you had lost your temper last time, so have you quelled your anger? Well, it looks like you have not. Cecil, I scarce recognize you. With the flames of battle tempered you like fine steel. Since last you spoke, I resolved to start upon the path of the warrior anew. I swore that I would not succumb to the beast again within, so as I did when I faced my brother in Wineport. Speaking of which, Broken Mountain has regained much of his strength, though when I speak to him, take up the act once more, he changes the subject and returns to his studies of Arcanima and other scholarly pursuits. Nevertheless, the desire to spread the teachings of our ancestors to every corner of Eorzea remains unchanged. And you couldn't have come at a better time. I've just received a letter from Broken Mountain stating that he's uncovered information regarding ancient martial techniques. If you're interested, and I'm sure you are, why not accompany me to Camp Bronze Lake and see that we might hear what he has to say together? Okay. Let's go see. Let's go see what this guy's up to. Oh. Getting down to the wire. We got 3 tanks. We have, 3 jobs left to go until we're, all my battle jobs are up 80. So, you know, honestly, I'm surprised. I'm surprised I was actually get half all my battle jobs level 80 before Endwalker to begin with. But that's the discussion for another time. Well, do I remember you, Cecil, the soul warrior to tame her inner beast? I shudder to think what might have happened had you not been there to save us from ourselves. You know the perceptuous nature of the force we wield, as well as the consequences of losing control for even a moment. The beast has not scrupled to discriminate between friend or foe, and if given free rein, will lash out at both. I have pored over countless tomes in search of knowledge on how to tame the beast within, as you did, but my efforts thus far have proven fruitless. All I have found are ridiculous tales of techniques that, if the author could be believed, would make Rollick himself cower in fear. The elders often tell tales of legendary warriors to inspire the youths. Are you sure there's no truth in yours? Quite. There are descriptions of the techniques used by the hero Mithril Heart, but the details are difficult to swallow. No warrior, alive or dead, can rip off a behemoth's arm with his bare hands. The tales are filled with similar outrageous claims, brother. Or accounts, brother. It would be a waste of time to investigate the veracity when we know so little of how to tame the inner beast. Besides, you know as well as I that Mithril Heart is not more than a fairy tale hero. What if I could prove that Mithril Heart was flesh and blood? Would you be willing to continue your studies then? Never did he stray from the path of the warrior, even as the years took their toll. Axe in hand, to Silvertear Falls he would go, never to return. Which means that if he truly lived, then there may be something out there which proves it. Keep your axe sheath, George. You'd be better served by time spent swinging your axe at a practice dummy than searching for ghosts. Who's this guy? Oh. Hello, guy. It's been a while. Well met, Cecil. My thanks for ensuring that my old friend here lived to learn from my mistakes. Although it seems the lesson didn't stick for long. What did I call you? Wise? Weiss? I'm going with Weiss. Weiss here has been kind enough to keep my brother busy with work and assisted me during my recovery. Anything to keep my former comrade out of trouble. As for the studies, far-fetched as may seem, I wouldn't be so quick to dismiss them. Lest we forget, Cessa has more than a few legendary accomplishments to her name. Well, if by chance she found proof of Mythos Heart's existence, I would reconsider, but leave my brother out of it. I may not be ready to accompany you, but I can give you advice on where to start. Seek out the Sons of St. Koinok. I'm certain they will know something of Mythos Heart's final journey. What makes you say that? Alright. That is not Mordona. That is the Doman Enclave. It's something where I don't want to go. I have no reason of going to. Oh, Lord. Well, he showed off the fully restored Doman Enclave in the Samurai video, I think? Well, when the waters of Silvertear Falls receded 15 years ago, they revealed a treasure trove of artifacts spanning eras, many of which we have yet to be recovered. I do not know if any of those artifacts may have any relation to this myth or heart, but it might serve you to begin your search in those previously submerged areas. Ooh. Relics belonging to an ancient Hellsguard warrior. While we are up to our next in Allegan artifacts, I cannot say that I've come across any that could be what you seek. Well, at least got one good bit of information. Who else am I talking to? We focus our research on artifacts from the Allegan Empire. As such, there may be more recent discoveries which were ignored by a single-minded researcher. You guys call yourselves researchers? Oh, Lord. Alright. Nothing of interest. Damn it. I got an axe. Great. An axe that's probably resembles every other axe around this whole area. But, who knows? Maybe it's what we're looking for. Oops. Oh, I gotta go to Bronze Lake. Wrong area. Wrong area. Okay. Well, have you uncovered any proof of Mythos Heart's existence? I got an axe. This axe. The engraving and the curvature of the blade are exactly as described. To think of the beast who tasted this bliss seal. Surely this proves that Mythos Heart is more than a mere campfire story. With the steel heart and his legendary techniques, he'll have the strength to slay even the strongest of beasts by the dozen. If Mythos Heart's feats are indeed possible, then the knowledge of how he performed them would prove invaluable in restoring the warrior's reputation. You could show the people of Aeorus the true potential of the warrior. Surely no small number of them would feel compelled to take up the axe. Indeed, it could prove a great boon for our cause. Farewell. I will return to my town and scout them for any passages relating to Mythos Heart. Mind you, ancient techniques may rouse the inner beast like none before. Of that I have no doubt, which is why you must not take your training lightly. When I uncover more information, you must needs be ready. I am all ready to go. Don't you worry about a thing. I can tell you have not neglected your training, Cecil, which is good. I have continued my research into the tales of Mythos Heart and his legendary feats, and I believe I've come across a passage which may guide your next step. Before I share my findings with you, however, there is Another matter of pressing importance that must be resolved before we continue. A ferocious beast has been sighted near the Weeping Saint in the Cortha Central Highlands, and I would have you, me, and my brother go and slay it. I suppose as a threat to any who venture nearby. I realize that this may seem like a trivial matter, but I assure you it is of the utmost importance. Oh god, now what? What's going on now? Weeping Saint, that's by that's up in the northwest, isn't it? Or northeast? Yeah, it's up in that little corner. I mean, the mountains home to a lot of ferocious beasts. What makes this one so special and so significant? It's a thing! What's going on here? I see Curious George off in the distance fighting ogres. The 12 of you made it. The beast caught us unawares. My brother looked to my defense and slew it, but in that moment, he was overcome by his inner beast as before in Wineport. I knew it was folly to bring him here. I beg of you, stop him before he hurt himself. Oh god, guy. You just don't learn, do you? Oh. Well, I don't need that recover anyway. He's almost succumbed to the beast within. Stop him before he's forever lost. This guy just never learns. Each attack can only serve to goad the beast. What has he become? You need to calm down, sir. Cecilla, speak to me. I think the gods are awake. When your final blow landed, you and my brother both collapsed. What happened, Cecilla? Do you remember anything? Your inner beast lashed out as if trying to escape. I see. The lingering numbness is likely your body recovering from the shock. Otherwise, you appear to be unharmed and in full control of your faculties. I owe you an apology, Cecilla. Once again, I lost control. I've already attended to my brother's wounds. You needn't worry. Alas, as I suspected, my brother yet lacks the strength to control his inner beast. As you may have guessed, I called you both here to see if my fears were unfounded. I don't know what should give you a cause to worry, my brother, but when the beast stirs, my mind grows clouded and my will falters. Or perhaps I remain silent to avoid facing the bitter truth. Who would trust a protector that could turn on them at any moment? It pains me to do this, but I cannot allow you to accompany Cecil any longer. The risk is far too great to you both. Mayhap it's best we continue this conversation in the safety of Camp Bronze Lake. God damn it! Cecil, you've grown so much stronger, while I've hardly grown at all. Show yours what it means to be a true warrior. I know you can. Oh, you'll get there, guy. Don't worry. You just gotta keep putting in the effort. Gotta have faith. You gotta have faith. What am I doing? So my brother has been in a dire mood ever since we returned from the Weeping Saint? Well, that is only natural given his lack of progress, and it may be for the best. The teachings of our people are too dangerous for those who lack control. That is why I chose to focus my studies on how to tame the inner beast. For the sake of my brother, I wanted not more than to solve this dilemma, but then fate intervened and I stumbled upon the tales of Mythril Heart. But mayhap we need not forsake one pursuit for the other. In seeking the techniques of Eld, we may discover the reason why you can hold the beast in check so easily when my brother and I fumble about that like children. However, I'm still concerned about what you told me before, about your inner beast lashing out during your duel with my brother. Can you tell me of that once more? Simply recalling the duel arouses your inner beast from slumber? Wait, it all makes sense. Only the flames of animosity may temper a warrior's soul. I came across these pat words in a passage, but I did not understand their meaning until now. The inner beast stirs when we face an opponent who pushes us to surpass our physical and mental limits. Only in that moment can we attain mastery of new techniques. This must be how the heroes of Eld, like Mythril Heart, became such legends. They traveled the realm, testing their mettle against the fiercest foes they could find. Your path was clear then, Cecily. You must challenge yourself as they did. You must grow stronger and hone your skills to new heights. Okay. The bare necessity! Are we gonna break out in song? Hopefully. Hopefully not. Well, Mad Cecily, it seems your trials have prepared you for the next step down your long path. However, while your progress is truly remarkable, I'm afraid my brother still fears the fury of his inner beast. Even in the training yard, he swings his axe with hesitation. Seeking to test himself against live foes, he has joined the Maelstrom's efforts to repel its recent spat of kobold attacks. However, Weiss has sent word that his ferocity in the field of battle is not what it once was. My brother has long admired your will. Test your axe against ever stronger adversaries and master the techniques of Eld, and by doing so, serve to inspire him and all who aspire to walk the path of the warrior. Remember the words set forth in the ancient tomes, and seek foes that test the very limits of your mind and body. The heat of battle will awaken the beast within, bestowing upon you the knowledge of our ancestors. Luckily, the path you walk has been tread on before, and you need not wander the land aimlessly. According to the tomes, Mythril Heart once spent a season hunting the hulking grizzly bears that stalk Abalthea's spine, the largest of which are said to rival even a behemoth in size. Make your way to Tailfeather, home to many seasoned hunters that know the lay of the land, and the creatures inhabiting it. Find the beasts of Mythril Heart's hunt and test yourself against their razor-fanged claws as he did. I mean, I highly doubt they're the size of a behemoth. Have you seen a behemoth? I highly doubt that they could grow to that size. Behemoths are not small monsters. They're pretty big monsters. So if you're trying to tell me a bear can reach its size, I don't believe it until I see it. Ask any hunter around here about the grizzlies of Abalthea's spine, and they'll look to tell you the same thing. If you see one, run. Call yourself a hunter? What the fuck? What are you? You're a right fool if you're thinking of going after one of those massive beasts alone. Best bring about a dozen friends along if you want to come back in one piece. If you've got the men, then I've heard of hunting parties using Willem's salmon to draw them out. If you head up the Wilman River, you'll like to find a few who died during the salmon run. Maybe the guys are. Maybe the words of warning are warranted. I can hardly forget the size of the beast I saw that day. I was tracking a chocobo around the 100 throws when I spotted a bear near as big as a house, drinking its fill from the waters. I didn't dare get in close and went home from that day's hunt empty-handed. Okay, so maybe there is a bird out there the size of a behemoth. But I gotta see it to believe it. Yoink. Alright, let's find ourselves a behemoth-sized bear, shall we? That's it? That is the size of a behemoth. That was not the size of a behemoth. People exaggerated the tail so much, so bad. What the fuck? The bear wasn't. The bear was probably like the adult size of the other bears. Cecil, welcome back. My brother and Weiss were telling me with Maelstrom's successes in Lanosia. Aye, the kobold scatters frightened mice before our wrath. I dare say they'll think twice before setting foot on Lamentin soil again. Cecil, as eager as I am to hear of your journey to Abalthea's spine, I can't afford to waste any more time away from my training. The kobolds may be licking their wounds for now, but they'll be back, and in greater numbers. Till next we meet. Curious George has acted in high spirits since our return from Lamensa, but his bravado scarcely hides the truth. What he said was true. Our reparations against the kobolds were a rounding success. However, troops that fought alongside him say that Curious George was noticeably shaken during the battle, as if afraid the tide would turn at a moment's notice. But it was not the fear of the kobolds that caused his acts to waver. He still fears his own inner beast. As long as this fear has hold of him in battle, then there is little hope he will grow as a warrior. The kobolds have become bolder with each passing day, and the Maelstrom's forces are spreading too thin. Maelstrom Command is desperately seeking ways to supplement its flagging troops. They're considering bolstering fighting strength by training troops in warrior techniques, so Curious George's capabilities have come under special scrutiny. However, if fear continues to hold him back, I doubt he'll manage to impress anyone. Once again, we are left wanting for a reason to tame the inner beast. Cecil, was there not you learned from your journey to the Dravanian Forelands that could be of aid? In the same manner as before, the memories of battles have roused the inner beast. So, my theory was correct. The key to mastery lies in the heat of conflict. Just as the ancient tomes say, only victory against a worthy opponent can temper the inner beast. Cecil, your growth as a warrior has given us valuable insight into the true nature of the inner beast. However, there's still much that remains shrouded in mystery. And there's still the question of what exactly sets Cecil apart from your brother. Indeed, the tools to tame the beast within are hidden or somewhere. I just have yet to find them. Cecil, continue with your training while I return to the tomes. A solution will present itself soon enough. Hopefully. I have a feeling we're running out of time here. Nice. Cecil, you couldn't have come at a better time. Weiss has just arrived, looks eager to speak with you. What's going on? Cecil, just the warrior wanted to see. The nation of Lamensa is in dire need of your aid. The Maelstrom is short-handed and the beast tribe's attacks are only grow more ferocious. I'm here searching for the skilled fighters, and there are many more skilled than you. As you know, my brother has already answered the call, helping the Maelstrom defend them from the relentless kobold assaults. Kobolds aren't the only thorn on our sides. Pirates serving the Sahagan have been pillaging along the coast of Lanosia. That's why we need your axe, Cecil. They may be mere pirates, but their blades cut as deep as any I've seen. Lamensa will be grateful to have your prowess on their side. Once you've made your preparations, head to Aleport and speak with the strong captain on duty for the details of the mission. Alright. Let's go talk to him. See what we can do to help out. Whoa! Adventure, the Maelstrom thanks you for your aid. A band of pirates find the flag of the Serpent Reavers as land to show the Isles of Umbra, and all reports indicate they plan to use that as a foothold to attack Aleport. Our walls only defend it from inland assaults, and I shudder to think what might happen were the pirates to bombard us with cannons from the sea. Our course of action has been decided. We will take the fight to them before they have a chance to mount an offensive. Our rendezvous point is at the Isles of Umbra. The pirates shall not weather the wrath of the Maelstrom. Alright. So you're the one we sent. You said much of your prowess. I look forward to seeing you in the fray. Alright. Good, now our troops are gathered. We shall move out at once. Our objective is to slay the pirate captain. Without a head to lead them, the Serpent Reavers will scuttle back to their moldy ships. However, the task ahead of us should not be taken lightly. Reports tell of a fearsome beast under the captain's thrall. Take care not to let your guard down, unless you become the beast's next meal. Alright. Fight back before we're overwhelmed. I ain't afraid. The pirates attacked us as possessed. Thank the 12-year axe cut them down. They shall press forward for Aleport. You gonna leave your comrade behind? Okay. Sorry. This main camp will soon be within our sights. I'll protect the wounded. So give the pirates a taste of your steel. Alright. The pirates think they have strength in numbers, but a storm captain is worth a dozen of them. We shall leave the wounded to recover here. So that's up to me. Uh-oh. Stop the Serpent Reavers! Haha. Well, if your hell's been on trying, it's been a long time since me pup had fresh corpses to feast on. Oh, you can live your pup in your grave. That's such fine axemanship I've never seen. However, now is not the time to dally about it all. The place fills me with foreboding. Let's meet again at Aleport. Okay. Oh, cool. Take you straight back. Nice. Works for me. So now that we are safely out of those cursed isles, I would like to thank you for your aid once again. Without the courage your fighting spirit bestowed upon us, we would have been overwhelmed. The Maelstrom is honored to count you amongst our allies. Captain speaks for us all. Your ferocity inspires us to carry on the face of the pirate onslaught. What drove you to fight with such fury? And here I thought the axe was just for the killing, but instead you wielded it in our defense, and your will to protect us gave you the strength to surpass the limits of your mind and body. 7 hells, I've been fighting all wrong. I've seen nary a battle so fierce or a protector more stalwart. Cecil, I would like to hear more of our skirmish from your eyes. After you recovered from the fight, pray speak to me again. Okay. I can stay a while and chat. How to train your warrior. It's not how to train your dragon this time, it's how to train your warrior. It would seem our battle with the Serpent Reavers bestowed upon you yet another technique of Eld. My comrades and I as well will soon not forget the ferocity with which you protected our lives this day. I shall return to Maelstrom Command and inform them of our success. I look forward to the day we might fight side by side once again. I thought you wanted to hear more of my tale. No? The lessons learned from your example will serve to aid me in countless battles to come. No doubt Weiss and the others are eager to hear back from you. Give that old marauder my regards. My god. What was the point of me sticking around? I thought you wanted to hear more tales. Lord. Cecil, I knew the Serpent Reavers would fall swiftly before your axe. Did you learn aught from the skirmish that might be of aid? Well, my inner beast. I did not expect such feeble opponents to wake the beast from its slumber. But it seems your conviction to safeguard your comrades had much the same effect as pitting yourself against the bears of Abalthea's spine. Cecil, this information may prove to be invaluable. Within your story likely lies the key to overcome my brother's struggle. Speaking of which, my brother suffered injuries in a clash with the kobolds and has come here to nurse his wounds as I did. It would please him to see an old friend such as you. Pray speak with him, for an exchange of battle stories may serve to lift his spirits. So people get wounded in battle, they come here to recover at a nice little hot spring. It's not bad. Cecil, I'm joyed to see you came through your battle with the pirates unscathed. If only I could say the same. I've been ordered to rest here until the wounds I suffered in our fight against the kobolds heal. According to the unit's report, the kobolds unleashed a new type of explosive on the Maelstrom troops. George valiantly threw himself upon it before the detonation, shielding his allies from the worst of the blast. The new bomb had a destructive force unseen in the kobolds' primitive explosives. That my brother is still standing before us is no small miracle. Truth be told, my wounds are barely severe enough to warrant sending me here. The moment I saw the bomb, I knew I couldn't let my comrades come to harm and leapt upon it as if by instinct. I remember nothing after that. Cecil has a similar story to tell. The Serpent Reavers almost overwhelmed the Maelstrom troops, but she remained undaunted in their defense, awakening the inner beast with a ferocity unseen before. You both poured your energy into not into defeating your foes, but protecting your allies. Could this be the secret to taming the throes of the beast within? If so, that means, brother, you finally brought your inner beast to heal. What? I didn't feel the beast taking hold, but I didn't feel the beast taking hold. This theory must need to be tested. Brother, once your wounds have healed, it would serve you best to let go of the worry keeping you from unleashing your full strength. Swing your axe unbridled by fear. But what if I succumb to the beast's call again? My training has only made me stronger. If I lose control, it could be worse than in Wineport. Now is not the time for doubt. Your allies, nay, your friends will be by your side. They will ensure none are harmed should the worst come to pass. I know your theory demands I fight without hesitation, but please, I must think on this. Aye, we should let Curious George's wounds heal before we demand anything more from him. Rest well, my friend. We'll return before long. So there's more I would speak with you about. Pray visit me when you're ready. Alright. Wow, it's already almost over. We're only like 35 minutes in. Usually by the time I'm at this point, I hit like the 45-minute mark. To rouse the inner beast with fierce battle and tame it by resolving the fears to defend your allies. This theory could serve us better than aimlessly scouring the ancient tomes, but my brother still fears the consequences should he lose control. If indeed his fears should come to pass, you must be ready to stop him as you have before. Cessla, prepare your axe for our next battle. Oh wait, never mind. I lied. I thought this was a little 58 quest, because they were building it up like, you know, this, like how the 58 quest ends it up. Cessla, I can see the power in your stride and the feel of the inner beast raging within you. You'll need such strength for your next trials at hand. Reese and my brother are already looking for more fighters to supplement the undermanned Maelstrom troops in a new operation, and they've asked for you by name. Seek them out if you wish to raise your axe once more against the beast tribes. Cessla, brother. The Maelstroms once again need support, is it not? Pray tell us what it is that you require. Well, very well. Now that everyone is here, scouts have reported increased activity among the kobolds. The 179th Order seems to be producing explosive day and night in preparation for an all-out assault. From all indications, they aim to attack this very camp. The Maelstrom strategy is to intercept the bombs near Zelma's Run. Camp Bronze Lake is a haven for wounded soldiers, and its defense is one of our top priorities. If we had 2 legendary warriors by our side, our success would be all but assured. Zelma's Run is barely wide enough for one cart to ride abreast. If I were to lose control, no one would be able to escape the beast's wrath. On the contrary, brother, this battle will give you the chance to once again assert your dominance over the beast within. This is what you spoke of earlier, is it not? Tame the beast by devoting yourself to the defense of your allies. Brother, if my theory runs out to be true, then the control is within your grasp. As long as Cessla is at your back, there's not to fear. Will you run away again? You know that the path you wish to walk, the path of the warrior does not lie down that road. Say no more. Please, leave me to my thoughts. Well, we've not much time for hesitation. Storm Captain waits near Zelma's Run and will be departing shortly. Cessla, if you decide to join the fight, pray tell Curious George. If anyone can rouse him from his slump, it's you. My god, dude, you need to perk yourself up. Where'd you go? My apologies for causing worry, Cessla. My brother is right. It's up to me to walk the path of might. I know that, but I still cower before the beast within. But a true warrior faces his fears an axe in hand, right? Come on, Cessla, remind me what it's like to scoff at my enemy's feeble blows. Awaken your inner beast and slap the fear right out of me. Okay. Let's have some sense into you. I can do that. Apparently that step was pretty powerful to make him stumble. God damn, what a blow. That's the stuff warriors are made of, Cessla. Thank you. I'll dominate the beast within, and our axes will stand indomitable against those bloody kobolds. Our enemies will feel the full force of my fury and will not step one element into this camp. Step one element into this camp. Okay. He's pumped up now. Cessla, that both you and Curious George will be aiding us brings me comfort. Camp Bronze Lake could not ask for a more stalwart defense. Our strategy is to intercept the kobolds at 2 separate locations in Zelma's Run. We'll split into 2 groups, one warrior protecting each one. Cessla will be dispatched on the eastern side. Nary a single kobold will make it through with your fear alongside us. Curious George will be in charge of the western side's defenses. I've seen you crush kobolds under your axe before. Today should be no different. Once the 179th Order have run home for their tails between their legs, we will rendezvous to the north. May our axe strike true. Dismissed! Alright. This guy's putting up a fight. God damn it, I walked right into their ambush. An ambush for the ambushers? Hey, that was a lot for you, guy. Huh. That was too bloody close. Good thing kobolds didn't count on you showing up. Looks like the eastern side is clear. Curious George and the others may need our help. Hurry, Cecilla. Cecilla, my apologies, but it seems the kobolds couldn't wait for you. Camp Bronze Lake has not to fear from the 179th Order anymore. Curious George's axe was like a whirlwind, strewing the kobolds in every which direction. His courage carried us all through the battle unharmed. Without these two warriors that are on our side, I have no doubt the kobolds would have overwhelmed us. I'll be submitting a detailed report of your heroes into Weiss and the Maelstrom Command. You have all fought bravely today. Let's return home and for a well-deserved rest. Well, looks like it worked. Are you in control? Cecil, I can scarce remember the last time I fought as I did today. I swung my axe with abandon, but I was free from the inner beast's grasp. It was just as my brother said. By pouring my strength into the defense of my allies, the beast within was tamed. However, kobolds are hardly a true test of one's prowess. If the fight had been against a more worthy foe, or the circumstances had been more dire. Although today's battle was heartening, it's too early to say I've subdued the beast. I'll return to Camp Bronze Lake to rest. Cecil, let my brother know of our victory here. Why not you? You're going there? Why do I have to be the one to inform him? Seems your victory was well earned. What of my brother? Was he able to fight without succumbing to his inner fury? So even with today's victory, he dreads the consequences were he to lose control. Still, it is only through the strength of his own will that he may dispel the fog of self-doubt. Unfortunately, the beast tribes won't wait for Curious George's epiphany. Storm Marshal Sloth has sent word that he requires a warrior's strength to aid in another Maelstrom defensive. As you already know, kobolds are not the only nuisances we have to contend with. The Sahagin have been taking advantage of the distraction caused by our forces of the kobolds to launch an offensive against the tide gates. With the bulk of Maelstrom forces tied up with the kobold threat, we can ill afford to send any men to defend the gate near Camp Skull Valley, leaving us wide open to the Sahagin threat. Cecil, if the strength of a warrior were to see the people of Limsa Lamenta safely through the storm, then mayhap the glory of our ancestors would be restored, and all across the earth would know of us as guardians instead of as brutes. However, it saddens me that we say we cannot depend on my brother to be ready to shoulder such a weight. Cecil, when the time comes, he must needs ready to take on the task alone. In the meantime, pray tell me of your battle at Zelma's Run. I'll recall the ferocity with which you fought and lose yourself in the memories of your fight. Since before your inner beast is aroused and another technique avails at your disposal. Your progress is encouraging. Continue on this path, continue to challenge the limits of your mind and body, and victory in the battles to come is assured. Alright. Nice! Cecil, the Sahagin forces have begun marching upon the tide gates. The time has come for the decisive battle from which the fate of all Lamentus hang in the balance. My brother still wrestles with his tenuous grasp of the inner beast, but this crisis does not wait for him. The successful defense of the Tide Gates depends on 2 warriors being present. I shall not stand idly by either. I'll lend what meager aid I can with my healing magics. If your heart is steeled for battle, then let us meet with my brother outside. Alright, guy, I need you in fighting spirits. Sessa, you're here at last. Is my brother ready to depart? My preparations are complete. I'm ready to lay down my life in Lamentus' defense. As are we all. The most recent reports tell that the Sahagan plan to use their massive sea beast that will run the Tide Gates. As us 4 would be in charge of defending the southern gate, with 2 warriors by our side, we'll beat those slimy fishbacks into the muddy depths from whence they came. You're fighting too? But what of your wounds? And you said 2 warriors? It's true that the injuries from our fight with Titan remain, but I reckon the Sahagan's courage won't last for long. As for the warriors, well, we've got 2 right here, don't we? Or not we, the Sahagan will rue the day they stood before our might. Alright then, let's head to Camp Skull Valley. The Sahagan won't soon forget this battle. The fate of Lamentus. I desire nothing more than to see everyone safely through this battle, but if the beast within takes me within its clutches again. Sessa, you know what to do. Gather your strength and drive the fear from me with a mighty slap. It's time to put that train to work. How many times do I have to slap some sense into you? My god. Just get over your beast and move on with your life. That's the stuff, Sessa. I'll be feeling that in the morning. Come hell's or high water, the Tide Gates will not fall. I will assault Sahagan the iron will of the warrior. Sessa, let us report to Commander Falk at once. Falk Brida. He's very excited now. He's very pumped up. Pump up the... No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. The operation depends on the successful defense of both Tide Gates. You four will see to the southern while another unit attends to the northern. Although you are few in number, it would be foolish to expect anything but greatness from such storied fighters. All in charge of defending the southern Tide Gate are here. Let's not waste any more time. Not so fast, Whis. You don't think I'd let you take all the glory, do you? Who's this? Oh, look who it is. Storm Marshal Einzar, you plan to fight alongside us? There was no I could say to stop him. Once he has a mind to do something, there is very little that can. My sense of duty will scarce allow you to bear. My sense of duty will scarce allow you four to bear the weight of Lamentus' fate on your own. My axe will be the first to greet this Hagen wave. And what's more, I look to see the strength of these 2 warriors with my own eyes. Something tells me this will be a fight to remember. Storm Marshal will be an honor to fight by your side. Our axes will see that people of Lamentus safely through the storm. Brave defenders, this day the Sahagan mean to descend upon us like a tidal wave. But we will stand strong. You'll not allow the fishbacks a single ailment of land, nor will we give them any quarter. Our fate awaits us at Halfstone. To the Tide Gates! Alright, I'm teaming up with a bunch of Rogadine fighters. I feel very left out. I guess left out isn't the right word. Valiant protectors of them to the Mensa. This day the Sahagin mean to make an end of us. They'll come shrieking like the gale, and descend upon us with the force of a tidal wave. But will we falter? No. We will stand strong, unwavering, until the tide reaches stained by the blood of their dead. Oh, I guess you're not a Rogonaut. Well, no. Never mind. Defend the target and use the fishback's broken corpses as bait. It's alright, I've done this fate many times before. What else is new? That's the Curious George. Skewer the fishbacks. I'm working on it. Die. Choke on your dead. My brother, he's in control. The beast threatens to swallow him whole. Tremble before me, weaklings. Uh-oh. Beast has been tamed. Cessla, brother, friends, thank you. All right. My axe remains steadfast. Friends, stand at my back. My inner beast shall protect you. Huh. The fishbacks have brought more pets to be crushed under the weight of war's heels. Cessla, brother, imbue your axes with the inner fury and show the world the true warrior's true path. Go forward, undaunted warriors. Smash these invaders with until naught remains but fodder for the gulls. Good. And here I thought they were gonna lead the fight into us. Cessla, I'll take care of the captain. Fill the trifling beast. As long as Cessla sends with us, Nemco shall break through. Zell the Adamantine, huh? Man, how far Zell has fallen since Final Fantasy VIII. The captain's already dead. I don't know what you're fighting. All right. Warriors of Light, Curious George, the battle is won and the Sahagin scurry back to their molded caverns. It's a cheer for us all. Today's victory is owed to the might of our mighty warriors. Without you, we would not be standing here. Curious George, we're the title warrior with pride. I couldn't have made it this far alone. It was only thanks to the bravery of my allies I was able to dominate the beast within. The day will come when we, with proper training and instruction, all the people of Eorzea can choose to walk the path of the warrior. Speaking of which, with the Sahagin threat dealt with, the Maelstrom can proceed with its plan to train its troops in the way of the warriors. And who better to train them than the two siblings who brought their teachings to Eorzea in the first place? Curious George, Broken Mountain, I invite you to instruct the Maelstrom recruits in the way of your ancestors, forge our troops into mighty defenders worthy of their title. Alright. Many moons have passed since we came down from our mountain village, and finally we can begin to realize our dream. I want to know what village they came from. That's the one thing I want to know about this whole storyline. What village did they come from? And what mountain? This is an honor. My brother and I will gladly accept this appointment. Alright. Cecil may have now you're the one who needs to start training harder. I dare say you're right. Cecil has some proper competition. We'll both fight where we're needed, unbound by fear or hesitation, and in doing so, master the techniques of Eld. Cecil, I look forward to the day we both reach the peak of our strengths. For then you'll face an opponent worthy of your axe. Me. Oh, let's hope so. You still got a long ways to go, buddy. Alright. That sequence of job quests are done. Nice! Decimate! Alright. Now we gotta go back to Costa del Sol so we can start the next batch. Going the wrong way. Need to go this way. Hello, my buddy George. Let me pop this up real quick. Oh. Alright, George, what's next? Cecil, ever a sight for sore eyes. By the hardened look in yours, I take you wasting an effort in honing your axe in the battlefield. My brother and I have seen our fair share of battle as well, together with the fledgling warriors of the Maelstrom. Our training is coming along quite nicely. In fact, our exploits have earned us admirers of sorts. We recently received an anonymous invitation to participate in battle exercises at the Wolves' Den. I haven't for the foggiest idea who they are, but it would seem that you do. They mentioned you by name and insisted you join the fray as well. Perhaps they wish to settle an old score. In any case, who are we to deny them the opportunity to carve before the might of the warrior's axe? Come, Cecil, my brother has prepared a boat for us at the Morabi dry docks. If it's thrashing that they crave, let's not hesitate to give it to them. Or I could just teleport to Wolves' Den and be done with it. Why do you make me do this? Oh boy. Oh, there's a thing already. Good, you're here. As I'm sure my brother has told you, we have yet to determine the identities of these challengers. Naturally, we refused at first. Our time would be better spent training the troops. In the end, though, I could not deny their mental enthusiasm for battle and desire to display the combat prowess, and took it upon myself to accept. At the very least, I'm surmised it would prove inspiring to our men. With you at our side, it would prove a most enriching experience for all parties involved. I had not to show our men how to wield an axe, but I shall do what I can to aid you with my healing magics. When you have steeled yourself for battle, we may set out to the wolves' den. What is this? I'm already getting into conflict. What's going on here? Who are these guys? I don't recognize them at all. Wait a minute. Is this the Marauder cat? Is this the Marauder guy? The Marauder teacher? Cecil Rise, I live and breathe. It's been too long. Word has it that you've grown strong since the battle at Saltstrand. Even mastered the forgotten arts of the warrior. But words are wind. Ready your axe and prove to me that why my men should fear the bite of your steel. My God. These are all guys. These are all from the Marauder Guild, aren't they? Come more, show us your mettle. With pleasure, you'll rue the day you cross blades with us. What am I dealing with here? We're losing? How can this be? Man, you guy, didn't you learn your lesson the first time? Come now, is that all you Marauders can muster? So this is the strength of a warrior. The art of battle is celebrated in legends. Perhaps if I were a few winters younger, my efforts would have proven more than an unavailing struggle. It met and exceeded all expectations. Aye, it pains me to say this, but we're no match to the likes of you. Gods help us if this Sahagin ever learned to throw an axe about like that. I knew it! These oafs. Indeed, the student has surpassed the master, the guild master, for Ozai all along. I mean, your axe kind of gives it away. You still suck at making new disguises. If you had changed your armor or gotten a bit different axe, I probably wouldn't have figured it out. Huh. Not even a quizzical lift of the brow. Surely our disguises were not as bad as all that. They were! Or do you mean to say you've forgotten the face of your former instructor? Wern? By the 12, it is you! And Bronbar! I wasn't expecting to crush Lamence's famed marauders and to heal so easily. This was all only a warm-up. Well, yes? We've yet to even break a sweat. Who's this? Uh-oh. Dorgana, what is the matter? Uh-oh. The beast? Those eyes. She wields the strength of her inner beast? Oh, they got sent fly. They got yeeted across the field. Oh boy. What the fuck is going on here? She swings like a dream. They all got yeeted across the full area. God damn, Cecil, we can't allow her to leave this pier. God damn, she's nuts. Lord. Good Lord. Can't believe it. I fear she has lost her inner beast now. We must do whatever it takes to stop her. No one will stand in my way. No one. The earth beneath her trembles. Fall back, Cecil. Lord, lass. You need to calm down. I will run the flesh from your bones. Yeesh. She's nuts. State of play, Tesla. She appears to have calmed down. God damn, she's crazy. My apologies. The will of Karash burns brightly within me. Too brightly. Karash? I'm quite certain that was a reckless thrashing of one overcome by the inner beast. But that is a phenomenon seldom seen beyond the walls of my village. Who are you and where do you hail from, friend? I'm Dorgona of the Carol. My home was on the XIV steppe on the lands to the far to the east. We are unmatched in the ways of the axe. We're strong people, at times too strong. There are ones like me consumed by this thing you call the inner beast, the will of Karash. We are the taken, cursed with the insatiable thirst for violence. Remarkable. Your people sound not unlike those of my village. Though I suppose it stands to reason that others share this gift. The strength of one's inner beast stems from a primal instinct we are all born with. It is merely a matter of learning how to draw it out, a technique we warriors have long since mastered. Yet you would call it a curse. Have your people not learned to control this power? The will of Karash, this inner beast, can be controlled? Perhaps I can at last return home. Taking our sentence to exile. That is why I traveled west to train further in the way of the axe. If I can overcome this affliction, I may have a chance for redemption. Well, this is certainly an unexpected turn of events. As I'm almost promising recruit, I wish to see how she might be fare against hardened combatants. I never thought she'd actually defeat the likes of Curious George. Seems to me further training under our roof would be a waste. Might you be willing to take her on? Well, we can't very well leave her unattended. If she would succumb to her beast, there's no telling what havoc she might wreak. Then I leave her in your capable hands. I'm sure you'll make a fine warrior out of her. Thank you, sir. I'll do anything you ask, if it means taming this wretched beast within me. I can't believe I lost. How am I to instruct others when I'm still so lacking? Well, you were daydreaming. Brother, I'm sorry, but I cannot guide her the way of the warrior when I have myself stumbled on the path. No, let him be. His lack of resolve would only invite hindrances to the task at hand. This is the path we must walk alone. Come on, let's go. Man, if you weren't daydreaming, you probably would have stood a chance. But then you're too busy, you know, gawking at her. With my brother engrossed in his own training for the interim, I fear I'll be spread too thin or overseeing the instruction of Maelstrom recruits to give Dorgano a proper guidance. Gods help us if she should be consumed by her inner beast. A worldly adventurer such as yourself with no doubts and no other pressing obligations, but you are the only one capable of containing Dorgano should the worst come to pass. Do you think it possible you could spare time to assist me in her training? Sure. Oh, thank goodness. I don't know what I would have done if you had refused. Normally we would gain to train at the Wolves' Den, but I believe an exception must be made for Dorgano. Yes, both for her sake and the rest of the Maelstrom recruits. For now, I will give this some thought. Pray return here in a few days' time, and I should have a solution. Well, how about now? Because I'm still here. Fortuitous timing sets up. I've decided on how we might set about training Dorgano. Unfortunately, as you're already aware, my brother will not be present. It seems the situation is more grave than I initially thought. Ever since his clash with Dorgano, he has been unable to draw upon the strength of his inner beast. He insists on revisiting the basics of axe work at the Marauder's Guild will restore his abilities, but I suspect his troubles lie elsewhere. The same can be said for Dorgano. Though my brother and I did not compete for complete formal training in one of the ways of the warrior, you may recall we had last discovered a way for him to control the savagery of his inner beast. A dire encounter that hardened his resolve to protect his allies, thus allowing him to temper his rage. She believes her problem will be solved through physical training, but if we are to succeed, we must recreate a similar experience to Dorgano. I'm just gonna call you Dor. Easier to say. It may prove perilous, but I can see no other way. And we will not have to wait long for the opportunity. As chance would have it, we received a request for aid in routing a group of Marmaja now occupying the ruins of the city of Nim. They came here for want of work. Unable to find it, however, they took to pillaging and plundering, and not even the Maelstrom convoys are spared their attention. To make matters worse, the area also serves as the front line for ongoing attacks with the kobolds. Either of these tribes alone is already a handful of our forces, and we cannot well cope with both. That is why our squadron of newly trained warriors has been called to undertake this incursion. Dorgano will be accompanying us, and your presence will be imperative in the event she loses control. When you're ready, make for the ruins in the Outer Lenosia. Okay. Good, everyone is here. As far as I can discern, the Mamajal have divided into two groups. A primary fighting force for targeting the next Maelstrom shipment, and what appear to be groups of sentries posted to warn them of any unwelcome interference. Being the most skilled among us, I would have you sneak into the heart of the ruins and do away with these keeping watch. Meanwhile, I shall lead the others along a northerly route toward the long climb and engage their primary force. What goes to plan, we should be able to meet with when the two paths join. If Dorgano should be overcome by her inner beast and show no signs of regaining control, we will retreat immediately and seek you out. If we should come to blows, I beg of you, do what you must to stop me. That is all. If there are no questions, let the operation begin. Alright. where am I going? How fitting. I don't think I'll get XP off of these guys, but, you know, it won't hurt. Oh, he does. Well, good for you, then. Where's my companion anyway? Still getting there. All right. Let's see how they're going over here. Still by the lack of sweat in your brow, I assume you made quick work of the sentries. We, for our part, managed to claim a narrow victory over the main Mamolza force. And despite the chaos and havoc of battle, Dorgona remain unaffected by the inner beast. I am a slave to Karash for no longer. I am the master of the inner beast. Master? Far from it. Brother, what are you doing here? Have you been following us this whole time? Following? Nonsense, I was merely taking a walk. Yes, I was taking a leisurely walk through the ruins of Nim, and when I happened upon your small altercation with the Mamojal. I couldn't help but notice your form, Dorgona. Your battle form, that is. Anyone with eyes could see you were hesitating with every swing of your axe. You'll never learn to control your inner beast if you're too afraid to push yourself and draw it out. Believe me, I know. I'm afraid, am I? That's rich coming from a pathetic worm I sent flying into the wire of the Wolf's Den Pier. Worm? You ungrateful little... Call me that again and I'll call you whatever I please, Worm. If you have any complaints, take them up with my axe. You're lucky I'm feeling under the weather today. Next to me, I'll have to beat some manners in that pretty little head of yours. Though you may not like his judgment, I have to agree with my brother. I too notice you seem to be holding back. Though the battle was hard won, you showed little need to overexert yourself, let alone call upon your inner beast. I never meant to hold back, it's just, well, I thought better not to worry the others. You need to be hard on yourself. You did not learn to control your inner beast, no, but you have defeated the Mamojal. And the shipment's limbs are now safe. We should all be proud of what we've accomplished today. Now let's return to Marabi Droidox for well-earned respite. Your thrashing the Mamojal must have been glorious. Must have been a glorious sight. Never have I met a woman so fearless, so strong. Strong enough even to overcome me when my inner beast is unleashed. If only I could take it to the Asm step, I'd have to go. I have to go. I've already been to the Asm step. Should I just tell that now, or do I have to wait till later? Because I've already been there. I'm the freaking what the hell they call him? A con? What are the hell they call the big bad guy, big bad leader? It seems you will need more than a small scuffle beastman for Dorgona to gain control over her inner beast. With that curious George with her to assist us. She also found it strange she would take time away from trying to speak with us, or rather with Dorgona. My suspicion is true, he faces an obstacle unlike any he has faced before, though I'm sure it's nothing you need to concern yourself with. You have done well this day. Rest now and gather your strength, but we'll surely need for the trials to come. Shit. Sus, I'm afraid I have not but ill times to share. The Malajah returned with reinforcements, and according to reports from Maelstrom Command, they have their eyes fixed on Wineport. Having been driven out from the ruins of Nim, have no doubt they mean to take the village as a new base of operations. We have fanned the flames of their aggression, said Sun, thus it is our duty to put matters to rights. I fear they pose too great a threat to consider this part of Dorgona's training. Regardless of what may happen, I expect you to prioritize Malajah above all else. When you're ready, my men and I shall meet you at Raincatcher Gully. Oh boy. These fish people don't learn. They never learn. What do I have to do to get them to learn? Lots of stuff, apparently. Our scouts tell us that Malajah are still to the south. There's no way of knowing which path they will take to reach Wineport, so we must head them off at every available avenue, lest they turn the Homeland into a battlefield. So that's all to ask you to head due south and do away with any enemies you find along the way. The rest of us will sweep the west toward the Red Mantis Falls, then south through the Severed String. Dorgona, you will stay close to me in the rear. You will aid me and support, nothing more. If we must, if you insist. I'm sorry, Dorgona, but this is too much at stake to risk your losing control of your inner beast. Yet, with you joining me in support, I fear we may lack the strength to do away with the Malajah. No need to fear, brother, for you have my axe. What a welcome surprise. Are you sure you're able to fight? After bashing boulders and toppling titans with the marauders, I've never felt better. Ah, you again. Come souls down, worm. No more than the red horned mad cow unable to control the inner beast. Oh, what about when this is over, show you my inner beast end? Enough, both of you. Brother, if you're sure you can handle it, I'll have you take the lead. Right then, let's move quickly. Cessa will meet you where the paths join on the road leading to Limsa Laminsa. Oh boy. Well, my condolences to you, Broken Mountain. You're gonna have your hands full with those two. I'll enjoy my peace and quiet with these things. Alright, so far, so good. Take these guys out and meet up with our friends. Hopefully they didn't meet with more troubles. What's going on here? Cecilla? Oh, thank goodness you're unharmed. The Malajah, they caught us unawares as we passed through the Severed String. We had no choice but to make haste toward the rendezvous point. As I feared, Brother's bosun was just that. He was the first to falter and failed to keep up as we fled. Him, along with Dorgana. Please, you must find them before they are slain by the Malmaja, or worse. Oh. I thought they're gonna die that easily. You right here. Cecil, be on your guard. Dorgono. She feared the Malmaja, but... oh boy. Her inner beast has consumed her. My strength has failed me, Cecily. Please, you have to stop Dorgono. Oh. She's controlled it. I did it! I've surpassed the will of Karash! Could it be? She overcame an inner beast of her resolve to protect me? The flames of her spirit burn so brightly, yet feels as though that mine have all but guttered out. Pray return to the others without me. I cannot face him like this. Come on, guy. You have struck two birds with one single stone. The Malmaja have been repelled, and Dorgono has at last gained control over her inner beast. The power of Karash is now mine to control. Soon my people will welcome me back with open arms. I would certainly hope so. Let's return to the Marabi Dry Docks and prepare for your send-off, shall we? I lacked the courage to ask before, but now I must ask. Now I must. Cecil, would you return with me to the Azim Step? There's much my people could teach you, just as you could teach us. With your help, we would never need fear of the will of Karash ever again. Oh. Please, Cecil, say you'll join my clan. Well. I cannot abandon him. Well, it's quite the offer. But then who will protect Eorzea in my absence? By the mother, of course! How can I be so blind? I can never deprive Eorzea of its protector. Forget that I asked. It was foolish of me to think you would give up your life here in Eorzea. Come, we should return to Marabi Dry Docks. The others are waiting. Man, I appreciate the offer. I definitely... honestly, I probably... you know, it's a very tempting offer. If I'm gonna speak frankly. Because I love the Azim Step. And I mentioned it before, I want Azim housing. That'll never happen, but, yeah. It pains me to let such a fine warrior leave. Still, I cannot begrudge you for wishing to return home. A part of me wished to stay and repay your kindness. Before coming here, I was certain redemption was beyond my reach. Now, thanks to you and your wars, I've learned to harness the power of Karash. Alas, I can return home and show my people this gift is a strength, not a curse. Or a gift, not strength. Thank you, everyone, for everything. Farewell. Once again, we are indebted to you, Cecila. Not only have we eliminated the Malmaja threat, we've helped Dorgono on our way to reunite with her people. Yet still it remains the matter of my brother. He would not dare admit it, but I knew from the moment he laid eyes on her that he was in love. Then therein lies the problem. The only love he has ever known is for his acts in the thrill of battle, in light of her less than favorable treatment of him since his defeat here at the Wolves' Den. I fear his love and loathing for her at odds with one another. Unable to get a grasp on his emotions, he's lost touch with his inner beast. He'll be distraught in her absence, to be sure, but as they say, time heals all wounds. All we can do now is wait and hope he recovers. If anything should happen, you'll be the first to know. Great. Guys, as love struck as ever. He's gone! My brother is gone! I spoke with Wern and his men claimed to see a man fitting brother's description boarding a ship heading to the Far East. The love-struck fool. No doubt he's run out to find Dorgona. In his weakened state, there's no telling what misfortune may find him there. With that, I could go and search for him, but I cannot leave my post here in Limsa. It shames me to ask of you, but do you think you possibly could find him? Sure. Bless you, Cecila. If he is searching for Dorgona, then he's headed for making for the Yasm Steppe. The plains are as vast as she claims. She would do well to find the closest settlement and begin her search there. If the gods are kind, someone will have seen him. Safe travel, Cecila. I pray he causes no more trouble than he already has. My lord. Alright. Let's ask around. Oh, that unruly fellow in search of the Carroll clan? If he took my advice, he's headed due west for the settlement. Or what's left of it. Oh. A large man with an axe? You have any idea how many brutes with axes come stomping through these parts? Thanks. I mean, I guess it didn't really help us because we didn't give him a clear description. So I guess it's on us. A really red-faced Rogadine. Yes, I remember. I was asking after the Carroll clan, but they haven't lived here in ages. Oh boy. Oh boy. Duh. You're right here. Thank you, kind stranger. Had you not arrived, I would have. Cecila? What are you doing here? Ah, I can wait. Dorgona's people under attack. Come, we have to help them. I thought they haven't lived here in ages, though. You damn bear! Ceci, you've come! Hope is not yet lost, though I fail to see why you chose to bring the worm. Worm? Why? You... Could you just tell us what happened here? The Carroll Center was attacked, but I was too late. This is all that was seen here when I arrived. You needn't worry, though. They escaped. I managed to track them back to Reunion. Upon finding them, however, I was greeted with looks of fear and disgust. They would only suffer me long enough to explain that the will of the Karash is to blame for their woes. The exiles of Carroll have created a clan of their own, the Chagan. They offered me shelter when I was first cast out. When the Carrolls see the will of Karash as a source of wrack and ruin, the Chagan praise it as a blessing from the Dusk Mother. They commit all manner of heinous acts that when Karash takes hold. Some would even slay their own kin and claim in the name of the Mother. I could not abide their savagery and soon left. Still, my people mistake me for one of the Chagan now. After all that work, all that training, they would deny me. But I cannot give up. I will avenge my people and earn their trust. Your opponents are warriors who freely indulge in their inner beasts. You do not stand a chance alone. I will help you. I have no need for your aid, Worm. You only get my way with your reeling and writhing. Cecil's proven accent, on the other hand, would be welcome. What say you? Sure. Thank you. Your presence alone is worth 100 warriors. And with me at your side, that's 100. That's another 100 at your disposal. Dealing with the child should be child's play. Huh. Do as you like. I only ask that you don't slow us down. For now, return to Reunion and rest. The child will have grown careless and should prove easy for me to track. When the time comes, I expect you to be ready, Curious George. Huh? I mean, right. You can count on me. It should not be long, Cecil. Soon we'll put an end to their madness. This woman is insufferable. She's arrogant, rude, pig-headed, and she finally called me by my name. Huh. She is also right. Battle against the child would be folly in my present condition. Let's return to Reunion. Oh boy. What am I doing with here? Am I dealing with a warrior or am I dealing with a love-struck fool? Cecil, let me speak plain. Why exactly are you here? Brother worries about me, does he? Seems I've made good company in good company of trouble in recent days. I mean, you left without saying a word. Ever since I was best part of going off the pier, everything has gone wrong. My inner beast remains dormant, and my ability to fight along with it. There are moments where my blood quickens, and I dare hope that the inner beast would awaken. Once I find myself racked by visions of Dorgono and my strength abandoning me. I know not what's going on inside me, know not how to conquer it. If I knew only that I tried to follow Dorgono. What in the heaven's name is wrong with me? You think you're in love with Dorgono? Open your eyes, buddy. Love? I was hoping you'd offer me counsel, not cruel jests. In any case, the problem isn't my burden. It will not be solved by thrusting it upon others. If I'm ready for our battle, it must be solved quickly. I won't keep you any longer, Cecil. Do what you must do to prepare, and I shall do the same. I mean, let's hope. Your time is impeccable as always. I have a task well suited to a woman with many talents. Aside from my training, I've taken to working with the merchants here in Reunion. My most recent venture being the delivery of horses. I was asked to take a pair of horses up north today, but I feel at ease knowing that there was a rider and no saddles. Speak with the sprightly fellow over there, and you'll see you're fit to ride. Make for Molilo, and I'll meet you there. Really? I gotta get on a horse? The horse probably can't fly, can it? Oh, this horse can't fly, can it? Kira's door did mention someone would be coming to help. Yes, your force is right here. Safe travels, friend. It can't fly, can it? It cannot. God damn it. I gotta ride it all the way up there? Oh my god. Why can't it fly? Why? The gods curse me. And it doesn't even have the speed boost the freaking SDS Finmer has, so I can't get the added mount speed. Now, if I had actually did my hunts, and I could have bought the mount speeds. But really, there's really no point in having mount speeds if you can fly. The only time you need mount speed is, well, when it's a new area, like a new expansion area. Where am I going? Oh. Oh, my horse, thank you so much. There's no way I'd do it be without you adventurers. Is the other brother looking fellow over there with you? He is. Oh, there you are. Was this not invigorating? The feeling of fresh air on your face, the wind blowing through your hair. I mean, I could have flown. But we're up to the strength to fight. I've been given much time to drink in the beauty of these lands. Much time to think. Since I was old enough to hold an axe, the path of the warrior is all I have ever known. The pursuit of ever greater strength for my only purpose. I realize now how narrow my view of the world was. I was convinced that my defeat at Wolves' Den was the reason Dorgona has been constantly in my mind, and my wounded pride served only to further cloud my judgment. I can see clearly now. The clouds are gone. I can finally understand why Dorgona has vexed me so. No, he's finally awoken to the truth. I love her, Cecilla. From the moment I laid eyes on her, she had home gang my heart. Overwhelmed by these feelings, no little wonder she trounced me so at the Wolves' Den pier. But I am once more master of my emotions. Already I can feel my inner beast has reawakened. If I am to regain my full strength, there is one thing to do. Profess my love to Dorgona, and in doing so, rid myself of the any lingering doubts that may still inhibit my inner beast. Let's return to town. Hopefully there'll be enough time before she arrives to think of what to say. Oh my god. What am I doing here? Am I playing Cupid or am I a warrior? Just teleport there. Easier if I just teleport. By the time I get there, I'd be halfway there. What the fuck are they doing next door? Like they're pounding like really hard next door. It's like, I don't know what. Do you hear that? What the hell are they doing? What is that? It's coming from next door, I think. What the hell are they pounding? No idea what they're pounding. They're hitting something. I apologize for that. I had no idea what's going on over there. As I mentioned before, they're doing renovations next door. So I have no idea what the hell they're pounding. Alright. What took you so long? Again, ignore the pounding in the background. There's nothing I can do. Obviously. What took you so long? Every time I look into those powder blue eyes of yours, I lose my train of thought. Now that you're here, perhaps I can muster the courage to Dorgona, hi. Oh boy, what's wrong with you? There's no time for your drivel. The child I mean to strike again. You've always been prone to violence. My God, the incessant pounding in the background. I'm so sorry. What the hell are they doing? They've always been prone to violence, but I fear the recent attack on the Carol has given them a taste for pillaging. They mean to attack Mol Ilo next. Quickly, let's stop them before they can reach the town. Damn it all! Again, I was distracted by the quiver of her come-hither lips. I'm embarrassed to admit it, but love proves to be more terrifying than any foe. That the fear must be struck out of me. Literally. I want you to slap me as hard as you can, Cecilla. Crack your battle-hardened palm across my face. I wish I could slap whoever's doing that pounding. Okay. Need you to wake up, buddy. Open your eyes. God damn, that smarts. Any harder than my heart might have stopped altogether. But the fear that once gripped my heart is no more. Come, Cecilla. Dorgona must know of my love for her. I'll shout it from the mountaintops if I have to. Oh God, please no. The Chalagan are close by. Overcoming the forces will be no easy task, but we must be especially careful of the leader, Nyaga. He is able to wield power of a Karash to its fullest. When he taps into that strength, he is nigh unbeatable. With our combined might, we may have a chance. Speaking of which, Curious George, are you well enough to fight? Oh God, here we go. Better than well, for I am in love with you! Oh God. What are you doing, you willis worm? Keep your voice down. Oh, he quite indeed shouted it from the mountaintops. Your bellowing has given us away. What have you done? What do we have here? Dorgona. You have some nerve showing your face here. If you value your life, you'll crawl back to whatever hole you came out of. Never. What you've done to the Carol, your own people, is unforgivable. I'll not allow you to bring such ruin to others. I was too weak before, but thanks to these warriors, the power of Karash is now at my beck and call. I have the strength to put an end to you. What we do in the name of the Dusk Mother. If you defy her will, there is only one punishment for such heresy. Oh, now my gods of the dusk, hear me, grant us the strength to despite our enemies for one glorious moment. Let the blood spilled here slake our unquenchable thirst. Tesla, Curious George, prepare yourselves. Leave it to me, my sweet vixen. I'll show them what it truly means to unleash one's inner beast. Oh my God, guy. Oh boy. I'll make you pay for what you've done to the Carol. It's time you learned your place. Eat that! Eat it! Oh no, my gods of the dusk! Grant me strength to do your bidding and flourish the soil with your large blood. Oh, he healed himself, what a dick! What's this? He was repelling our attacks! This is the power of the Karash. To win a blow against him now is nigh impossible. This is the limit of your power? How pathetic. There's nothing we can do. The answer lies with the Karash. If I can harness all my strength into do a single strike. Sasa, keep his attention. I need a moment to focus my energies. You would be the first to die? Very well. Here, my strength alone may not be enough. Never fear, my love. You need but say the word, my axe. Okay. My soul is aflame. I never felt so alive. Oh no, mammoths! Back off, you fiends! Can you not see I'm assisting my lady love? Cecily must stop them. That was a waste. Alright. He's summoned more mammoths. You cannot allow him to disrupt our formation. Hold on, Cessa, we're nearly there. I can feel it. Now that should do it. Alright. Take me alert, they're going on, taking leads to victory! We need to intimidate that pitiful ball of flame. This is the true power of Karash. Find our beasts! Together we are unstoppable! Oh, the guy got fucking destroyed. My strength. No, this cannot be happening. He breached his defenses, we must not strike before he can recover. Leave it to me, my dear. You will not deny the Dusk Mother. We've done it, Cecil. We've done it. He's dead. Dead. Dead as bricks. We did it! The chakra had been brought to heal. Perhaps now I can finally return home. Uh-oh. That was quite a display, Curious George. The worm was at last shown himself a warrior. Oh boy. The beasts! Curious George. Oh boy, here we go again. It's over, we've won! You need to prove yourself to me any longer. You've always been so strong, so caring. I know I was mean to you before, but in truth Oh. Oh, here we go. Ha! Ha! Words have felled him. Ha! Oh boy. Forgive me, though only for a moment it seems my inner beast got the better of me. Again. So what if it did? The chakra had been defeated and I owe it to the two of you. When I carry here of this, they're sure to welcome me back with open arms. I'll share with them all I've learned of controlling this will of Karash, and I would do it with you. Come with me, Curious George, and together we can start anew with the Carol. Well. How long have I waited to hear those words? Yet sadly I must decline. While it is true we defeat the Chakra, I cannot dismiss the fact that I succumbed to my inner beast. If I had turned on you when you needed me most, I could never forgive myself. A man who lacks such self-discipline is undeserving of a wonderful woman such as you. I must continue trying to master my own inner beast and become the realm's greatest, well, second greatest warrior. When that time comes, I will find you. Second? Surely you mean third. The honor being the realm's second greatest warrior is mine, and I doubt you'll ever surpass me. Ah, just wait and see. I'll rip those horns off that pretty little head of yours and... Well, you can certainly try. I'll gladly keep my title and think of no better challenger. Until then, take care of yourself. Well, happy endings, I guess? Not quite how I expected it would play out, but... I can scarcely believe you overcame that monster Nyaga on your own. The title of the realm's greatest warrior is rightfully yours, but never forget, should you slack for even for a moment, I'll be there to take it from you. Well, I suppose for today's exertion, we both earned a moment's respite. Let us return home. Let us return home. I yearn for the shores of Limsa, and my brother's no doubt sick with worry besides. Lord. Alright, that's not Marabi. Glad as you seem that you both returned hale and whole. Once more, my brother's inner beast burns fiercely within him, and from what he has told me, Dargona has at last been reunited with her people. Our adventures in the Far East were not without trouble, though, much of which could have been avoided if not for my failings. I don't know much for me to resume leading the Maelstrom's warrior's brother, but I am unworthy of the role. I myself am still needed training, and that is why I must dedicate myself to honing my skills, that I might someday be worthy of the position again. I suspect you might say as much. Very well then. If you truly believe this is the best, I will not stop you. Find your own path. When you're ready, I'm sure it'll lead back to us someday. Thank you, brother. I must be off to the Hidden Falls. There's much to do if I'm ever to be a match for Setsa or Dargona. I sometimes wonder if you'll ever be satisfied, though I confess I admire his fervor. You inspire him to reach new heights, and I have every confidence he'll emerge from his training a new man. Nevertheless, I hope we may look to you for your aid should we find ourselves on hard times. Sure. I'm in the thick of it now, so why not? Nice. All right, and that is the end of the. Why am I doing the outro? That's the levels 50 through 60 quests, or 50 through 70 quests that I had skipped. So once I'm level 80, we'll be back to wrap up Warrior and move on. Alright, we are level 80. So, Curious George. What's going on, buddy? What's going on here? Oh, Cecil, how long has it been? I've been dedicating myself wholly to my training for some time now, day after day after day, but I fear my progress has come to a halt of late. You look well. A fair bit stronger than I remember, even. What's your secret, my friend? How have you grown so much more powerful? I got sucked into this portal and traveled to another world and went toe-to-toe with this fellow called Dakai. Let's talk about Dakai. Wait. I can tell this is gonna take a while. Since I've just finished my training, why don't we speak at length on dry land? What's wrong here? I mean, I get it's not dry land, but still. So, there are more worlds out than this day. That's a lot to take in. And this grandson, ye gods, to see the woman you love taken from you before your very eyes. No wonder he struggled so mightily to pick up the pieces of his life. After listening to your tale, I realize what it is I've been missing. The one thing I lack to spur me to even greater heights. 'Tis love. Okay. I sent several messages to Torgana, you see, but she has yet to respond even once. I waited patiently, eagerly, but still no word has arrived. Fear has crept into my heart. Has she forgotten me? Has she met another? I cannot rest until I know the reason for her delay. I must know. There's no time for training. Nor can I afford to be patient. Granson's time with this blow was cut short. Who's to say ours will not be as well? Or worse, if it already has. It's decided. I will purchase passage on the next ship to the Far East and return to the Azim Steppe without haste. I'm coming, Dorgano. Oh my god, guy. Speaking of which... Cecil, how fortunate you are. I've been looking all over for the Curious George. The Marauders Guild told me that he trained here, near here, but I did not know you did as well. You just missed him. What do you mean he's going to the step to see me because I never answered any of his missives? This is a joke. No matter how many he sent, I would never have responded. Our people have no written tongue. Whatever reached us was probably fed to the goats. Anyway, let's hope that someone informs him of our arrival before he gets on the ship. As for the why I have traveled all this way, it was at the behest of my father, who wished to thank you and Curious George personally for fighting on our behalf. Hello, old man. I am Loveson of the Carol, and you are Cecil Rai, the Coggin who stood with my people against the Choggin. But that is not all. For you also helped my youngest daughter gain control over the will of Karash. No words can express the depth of my gratitude to you. You promised not to speak of Karash. But I must. My heart broke when she was marked as taken and exiled. Never again would I see her, I feared. Then she returned. Blood of my blood, master of Karash. My little girl. And it's all because of you. I mean, it wasn't all of me. George helped out too. And thanks for your deeds, I wish to present to you 30 horses. Father, no! It is not the way of yours to give horses as thanks. Besides, she's a traveler. That would only be a burden. You know, where the hell would I mean, I have mounts, so I guess it's not too far-fetched to have 30 horses, but where would I store them? If you offer me a place to live on the steppe, I'll take that though, because I want to live on the Azim steppe. Love that place. I apologize, Coggin. Now then, I must also express my gratitude to the others. Or was the maelstrom, were they? I believe I were called away. If you had the time to spare, might you accompany us? Having traveled so long, solely in the company of my father, I am finding him increasingly exhausting. Oh boy. Alright. Where am I going? Lower La Nocia. I'm seeing no Curious George. You already gained passage? Oh boy. It is a pleasure to see you again, Cecil, as well as Organa. I'm surprised to see her as you doubtless are, in the company of her father besides. I must insist that you accept a small token of my appreciation. I do not doubt my daughter is quite the handful. No less than 50 goats, I think, should suffice for the imposition. 50 goats would be a far greater imposition, father. I mean, the guy. I don't blame the guy. He's got his heart's in the right place. It really wasn't a bother, sir. A pleasure, honestly, and a regrettably short one at that. So much so that we were hoping that we might see her again, so you can imagine our surprise and our delight when you arrived. If not horses or goats, then... Wait, are you not the leaders of these warriors? Yet you do not carry an axe. Why is this? That is because I cannot. Not since I was defeated by my own brother in battle. He had succumbed to his inner beast, your Karash, and struck a blow with such ferocity from which I have never fully recovered. But it is well that he did, for I too was enthralled to the beast at the time. Had he not given it his all, countless innocents may have died by my hand. It is not an unfamiliar story. Many a Carol have suffered a grievous injury which rendered them unable to fight. But I'm a boo. A boo? Were you supposed to say something else? A boo. A healer, and I can help you wield your axe once more. This is in your power? I don't think it was possible. It pains me to see a warrior who yet yearns to fight, but cannot. Allow me to treat you as repayment for your kindness. Full glad am I to accept. Thank you, sir, thank you. This treatment requires a quantity of shiver moss. While it is not native to your land, I believe a similar type grows here. Let us go and gather some. You lot return to your training for now. I don't know what about you, Sessa, but I'm bloody excited. Alright, let's see if this guy can wield an axe again. George got his happy ending, I suppose. Now it's your turn. Alright, so I gotta find the shiver moss. Or something similar to it. Alright. The moss of which I spoke I spied at this place not long ago. We will need a moderate amount for the ritual to heal Broken Mountain. You and Dorgon can both assist me in this. Look for mossy rocks nearby and shatter them with a heavy swing, then gather up the shiver moss. I remember this game. The marauders are always cracking rocks to hone their skills. This will be easy. God. I guess we're returning to our roots. We start off on the path of wielding an axe by breaking boulders. Now we're ending it. So I guess it's appropriate. I'll whack away at you, because why not? You fucked with the wrong guy. You're just upset that I killed your big grown-up whatever. You wield your axe with a great skill, Kogan. May I have the shiver moss? There you go. Very good. Now, before my daughter returns, there's one matter which I must discuss with you. She is a woman grown, and as her father, I must think of her future, of marriage. Alas, she has shown no interest in warriors of the Carol. At first I thought none suited her, but then I began to wonder. Was her mind made up? Had she already chosen a suitor? Realizing this, I persuaded her to come with me to Eorzea, and now that we have met, I feel more certain than ever. Dorgana has fallen in love with a warrior of another land. And I could not be happier for her. Who could have disapproved of the champion who stood against the Chagan? Cecil Rai, Kagan of the Steppe, I'll not oppose a union of you and Dorgano. I offer you my blood. You got this. You're a little misinformed. My heart belongs to the sea. Did I mention I'm eternally bonded to somebody? Oh. This is interesting. Maybe. Because back in a long time ago, back when I first hit level 50, back in the base game, I did the eternal bonding ceremony for glamour. And is that I wonder why and that's probably why I have that option, because I don't remember seeing that option before. And yeah, I never actually broke off the bond. Mainly because there's really no need to right now. Plus, you know, whatever. Did I mention I'm eternally bonded to someone else? Honestly, I'm not all that keen on the whole institution of marriage. So, there's this bloke called George. Don't mind if I do. Oh man, these are all good responses. Well, not that, but the other four are. Oh shit. My heart belongs to the sea. Did I mention I'm eternally bonded to someone else? I mean, kinda, but not really. I mean, it was just for the glamour. So I can't really say that, I can't really say that, but I can. Oh. Did I mention I'm eternally bonded to someone? Let's go with this. I'm kind of curious what he has to say, because I don't think I don't think I've ever seen this option before. Hey! Who are you to decide such things for me? Uh-oh, she overheard. I will not marry Cecilla. I have already chosen a suitor, and it is not her. Oh, I see. I was so certain that it was this other. We will just not discuss this any further. We have the moss. Now let us go and prepare for the ritual. Pray forgive me, Kogan. I spoke out of turn. Dorgono is right. We should attend the ritual and restore the broken mountain to the warrior he was. I'm kind of disappointed that I get no response out of that. I'm kind of disappointed. No reaction at all. Interesting. Yeah, see? So I still have the thing. So, yeah. God damn, that was back in April, or near the end of April. Holy shit, dude. Time flies. Damn. I have brewed an elixir using the moss. Drink it now. Very good. Your body is ready. Now you must receive the power of another greater warrior. I can think of no one more suitable than you, Kogan. We must awaken the courage within him once more. I bid you summon the strength of Father Azim and strike Broken Mountain with all your might. You bid her to do what now? All your might. Hold nothing back. Swing to kill. Anything less than he'll be crippled, worse, or death. Oh god. Sorry, guy. You're gonna have to grin and bear it. Did it work? 7 hells. What is this feeling? I feel well up deep within. This fire, this passion, this rage. Alright. The beast stirs again, and his power is mine. It fills me with strength, yet I remain in control. Huzzah! The strength never left you, my friend. The injury was not of the flesh, but of the heart. Trickery of the mind, a deception of the self. The elixir served only to steal your flesh and dull the pain, so you could stand fast against the Kogan's axe. You will not need it again, for the fear that held your hostage has fled. I see. It was all in my head all this time. It's no secret that fear can cripple a man worse than any wound, but I never thought... Gods, what a fool I've been. Thank you so much for helping me overcome my foolishness, Loveson. You made me a warrior again. Uh-oh. Speaking of warriors. How was your search? Thank her for her war of surprising strength and power is indispensable for this ritual. No other could have served as well. Aye, for there is no greater warrior than Cecil. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Here's George. Oh boy, the guy's hallucinating. He's in a jealous rage. How could you, Cecil? You and Dorgona all this time. It all makes sense now. The letters, the silence. It was you. Curious George, what is this nonsense you speak? What's gone into you? Uh-oh. Oh, no you don't, you stupid fool. Huh. What the fuck? I'm so sorry, everyone. When I went to the dock to find a ship bound for the Far East, I ran into some marauders who told me Dorgano and her father had come. So overcome by joy, I began searching for them at once. But when I finally found you here and saw how you looked on Cecil with such joy, all my earlier fears came rushing back, and the beast within me seized control. And it better not happen again. You're lucky I held back. Next time I won't. And brother, is it true that you fully recovered? You are a warrior reborn? Congratulations, it's like a dream come true. Indeed, brother, indeed. At first I struggled to believe it, but it as his Loveson says. I must go and join the training sessions at once. But do not fear, the beast will not claim me again. He's very excited to pick up the axe. I cannot thank you enough, Loveson. It has been long that I can remember since my brother smiled so. You've given us such a gift. It's the least I could do after all you've done for my daughter. Thank you for your kindness and your hospitality. Our time is short, however, and we must be on our way. Having said that, Dorgano, I'm reminded that you are still young and one for experience. You're not yet a warrior fit to wed, so I bid you continue to strengthen your body and mind here, in this land. It suits you, I think. Alright, he's given his blessing. Did you hear that? I can stay. We can even train together. I can share all the techniques we Carol used to hone our skills. Aye, but first I must teach you my methods. You must come with me to Hidden Falls right this instant. You too, Cecil. I have a few final words I wish to say to you there. They're both very excited, which is understandable. Well, it's good going, good for George. He's got his happy ending. All right. So are they gonna both swing? Are they gonna both swing at the waterfall now? Yep, there they are. Both swinging at the waterfall. I trust you understand what all this means, my friend. Now that my brother has taken up the axe again, the competition for the Tanaf Ayor's greatest warrior will be much more intense. Don't forget, I'm in the running too, you know. So keep at it, warrior, for the time will come when we challenge you again. Well, you got a couple months. So, it's kind of interesting. So yeah. But that is the end of the 50 through 80 warrior quests. So, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next part. Later.